I saw this post yesterday from Luther, and he has a woodworking channel, and he wants to create a small character that runs in and out on this bottom of the screen. I've seen this in other YouTube videos, and I guess it's a fun thing to do. And he wants to know whether he can do that himself or whether he needs to go out and have somebody do it for him and pay him and whatever. So let's discuss some different options that are available. And we'll start with what you can do in Filmora. First of all, in Filmora, if you want to create a small character, they do have the feature available. And you just go over here to stock media, and then you go into the media subfolder here, marked AI. And in there you have a couple of different things. You can get inspirations or whatever, but basically you're not going to be a super duper artist. I'm certainly not a super duper artist, but you want to be able to create, your little character or whatever. And you can use the text to video option, or if you had an image of a small character you wanted to use, you could start by uploading that. We'll just look at this text to video option, which I have highlighted right here. And you would just type in what they call a prompt, or what you want this character to look like. So we'll just very quickly just say small man on bottom of screen. Now the thing about this is that when you submit a request like this, it goes back to the Wondershare servers. And Wondershare doesn't actually have that capability built in within them. So they send it out to an AI, another server, and you can choose which one of the ones you want to use. But you'll notice that what you're doing is that this is not something you're getting from Wondershare. All of their AI stuff goes out to other servers, and that's why you're generated credits. And you either have to buy credits or earn credits or whatever in order to generate this stuff, for your project, within your project. So if you're doing that within your project, you will be spending credits, and you better be prepared to buy some credits. So this is one way you could do it. But be prepared to pay credits for it, because it's not something that's natively built into Filmora. It doesn't even occur on your own computer. Let's take a look at a different option. I'm sure there's other free options out there that can do this, but just to demonstrate to Luther how he can easily create a small animated character, I'll show you the way that I would do it. One thing you can use is Grok. And in order to get to Grok, all you have to do is go into your browser and type grok.com. Don't have to do anything else, just do that. Now that's going to bring up this screen. If you haven't used Grok before, then you need to go ahead and create a free account. You don't need to upgrade it to make it more expensive. I'm sure you could do more things if you upgrade it, but with this you can make a free 6-second clip. So anyway, you make this here, and I happen to have made mine in Chrome instead of Firefox, so I will show you how that works. Okay, so I've switched over to the Chrome browser. Like I said, you could use the Firefox browser or anything else, so we will just go back into Grok. And I'm already logged into this one. I'm not going to do any upgrade. I don't need to do that. So now we need to do is we want to create our little image. What we want to use is we want to use this feature here, create image. It will allow us to create an image, or it will allow us to create a 6-second video clip. Now by default, it will come up with image. I would switch over to video, but the other thing is I would keep it in one of the portrait modes, because doing it in landscape mode just doesn't really work well, and so you're better off just using the portrait mode, even if your project is, and most likely your project is in landscape mode. So we're going to just keep it in the normal 2x3 and use the video mode. Okay, so much for the basic setup. Now let's get into creating the prompt for what we want to do. So it's all about writing the prompt. Right down in here. And so what we want to create is a small man And then we want to say more about him. Let's say that he's dressed in a plaid shirt, coveralls, and work boots. And we'll say he is carrying a tool bag. While running across the bottom of the screen. And he's going to be an animation because that's what we're trying to do. In other words, we're just describing just the way we want this to look. Okay. The background is a green screen. Okay, and we're using the green screen because once we get this into Filmora, then we're going to use the chroma key to remove the background, so all we have is our little character. Okay, we may or may not get exactly what we want on the first try, but it just means that we can modify our little prompt here to fix anything that isn't correct. Now we upload this into Grok, and we can see right here it is generating the image, hopefully the video, a little 6-second video clip that will run across the screen. But let's see how it goes. Indeed, we've got him running across. It's not quite a work bag, it's more of a satchel. One could spend time improving that. But basically we have a nice green screen here which we can eliminate in Filmora. So at this point we've got this, and it's a 6-second clip, and we may be using it more often. Now Luther did say he wanted him running in, running out. He could, for example, go ahead and make the second one running, turning around in the middle and running out. But we're just going to do it simple here, give you the basic steps. But once you got what you want, then you download it. If you didn't get exactly what you wanted, fine-tune your prompt and do it again. So we're just going to download it, and it's going to go into our download folder, which is like the default, unless you have it specified to go someplace else. And then we're going to say man running on a green screen, just to give it a descriptive name so we know what we're looking for. As we can see, I've already made several of these, but that's all it is to create the little character that we want to implant into our video. Okay, so now we're back into Filmora, and we're going to go into the Media tab, and we're going to go ahead and import our character that we created. And we remember that he went to the Downloads folder, and here he is, man running on green screen. And so we're just going to go ahead and import that, open it, and we have it right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn off the magnetic timeline as well as the ripple edit, and we're going to put this on this the top video here, and we're going to keep a little bit better resolution, and we can see that we're not going to be filling much of the screen. But that's okay, because what we're going to do is we're going to just use this over and over again for whatever length our video clip is. I'll go ahead and import a very short video clip here that I have in my input here. People walking, I guess. It's not very exciting, but that's not the point anyway. We're going to be using that down on track 1. We'll go ahead and keep our project settings. And let me go back here to home, and let's spread this out a little bit. Already this isn't even 6 seconds long, but the point is that this character is going to be something that runs in and then runs out or whatever. The first thing we want to do is apply the chroma key to this clip here so that we can remove the foreground. And we just select it and we go over video and not basic, not mask, but AI matting. Chroma key has had a different home in the different versions, but basically in the current version, AI matting is where chroma key is located. And we go ahead and activate it. Now, normally it does default to green. I don't know whether they've changed it or not, but we can use the color picker right here to simply pick a pixel in here, and that will eliminate it. Now I'm going to go ahead and shut off or deactivate the underlying video so we can more clearly see our character. And here's our character running across. I should have maybe specified across the screen, so I probably made a mistake with that. And in fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in a video that I created earlier. This is one of those things, if you hadn't closed out on Grok, you would just go back to the prompt and you would say the character moves across the screen. You would have added that into the prompt like this one here. This is the one we just created. I'm going to go ahead and import this one. It'd be nice if I select it and open it. And here is our new Running Man video. And we will put that up here. And we'll continue keeping this. Now we're going to go ahead and delete this bottom one because we have them running in place, so to speak. Or actually we have them running and the background would be moving. But that's not what we wanted. Here we really wanted it moving across the screen. We can see that a character is moving from one side to the other. And so that will be very useful, and we can easily connect versions of this together. And for example, we do not want the character to end here if we're trying to fill a 1-minute clip or something like that. We would want to cut it off just before he starts exiting it, something like this. And so we will take the back end of this off. But let's go ahead and do what we did before. Let's use the chroma key. Let's go ahead and select the background. And so now we have our character moving. Let's go back to basic. In the basic mode, we can adjust the location, the position, the height. So we want to kind of lower them down a little bit. We'll just adjust. We will adjust. Let's get a little here so we see where he's at. We'll go ahead and adjust the Y value here and lower them down here to the bottom of the screen. You could scale them up and down in case you wanted to, make it a smaller, bigger, whatever. Let's just undo that. And let's go back to the beginning, the very first frame of our little video clip here. And we're going to use the X value just to move it over in this direction so that it is right at the edge of our screen. And then we're going to go ahead and go over to right here. Okay, yeah, all right. So we clipped it right there. And then what we want to do is we want to go ahead and copy that. And then we want to paste it. Okay, so now what we want to do at the beginning of this clip is we obviously, and the easiest thing to do is just to move it up one track and overlap it a little bit. And we want to clip off where he's, before he gets into full stride. Now he's in. This may not even be the spot that we want to clip it at, but let's go ahead and delete that. And let's overlap it just a little bit so we have both. Okay, let's move the character back here to one frame. So this is where our character stopped. And so this is where we're going to be starting. We're just going to be one frame in. Actually, what we want to do is we want to find him where he looks just like that. And, if we move it in like this, it could be easier. And anyway, you just move it in until you find that that frame that looks just like the frame up there. Okay, I think that was probably about it there. We'll go ahead and cut this off. We'll drop that. And now we can well, what we want to do is we want to move him into the same location as the other character. I should not have moved this down. I should have just left it right there. Okay, you would do this with more patience that I'm doing right now. I just want to give you the basic concepts. And again, the X value allows us to move the character over. And the reason we're doing this, instead of using the stock media, AI media, extend video extend, this also costs credits. So yeah, if you want to use credits, you can do it right here in Filmora. But if you don't want to use credits, you just make short clips and you put them together. So it's very easy to do. So let's just go back to our media. And so basically what we're doing is we're finding the spot where our character ended. And we're going to fine tune the location where we want him to kind of pick up, and we'll just say it like that. So then we'll take this and we'll drop it down. Now the key to this, to make it look smooth like this, would be to make sure that we catch the very next frame of the frame before and trim it properly. But now we basically have a frame that can be added on and added on. So you just copy and then you go to the end, Shift N, you do Control V, 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 V. Now you've got all of these frames here. We got 20 seconds of video. But what we don't have is each one of these subsequent ones now have to be adjusted. So we would find this ends right here, and then this ends right there. So then we would move this position. And again, it could be useful to just have it up here so you have a reference mark as to where to move him up to on the x-axis. And that's just like this. You move it up and you just scroll it, and we're going to do a little bit there. And you know, if we'll go ahead and put that down. We'll go Shift End. And we'll go back one frame. This is where this video ends. By going back one frame, we will go up, we'll go over one frame, and we will repeat the process of moving our character. Now in this case here, he's going to run off the screen. So I think we won't be needing these, but let's just leave them there for now. And then we will make our final adjustment. And there he goes, he's off the screen. So that's exactly what we needed. Now I know that Luther said he was going to turn around and run back. And you can do that. It's not a big deal. So we don't even need any more than this. We've got everything we needed. He ran right off the screen. We can go ahead and delete those. And now we play it back. And we can see there's a little blip there. Obviously, you can make that much better yourself. So, but anyway, that's all there's to it, to making it part of your video. And let's go back to the beginning, unmask this here, and now we can run them across here. And there's our guy running across the screen, and Luther would be doing some sort of woodworking in the end, and he would run back out, or whatever he has in mind. But that's how simple it is.